Hey folks, Vince the Evil Dungeon Master, Vince the Evil DM here for another episode of Railguns and Dragons, continuing along with our Chaos Earth Primer series, finishing up the OCCs in the book finally, so we can move on to the next book to talk about it. Uh, Today we're going to talk about the second part of most overlooked classes here in the book, and that's the para arcane classes, experts in the paranormal. So what they did was NEMA basically hired a bunch of people to do paranormal investigations about legends, demons, devils, vampires, ghosts, and superstitions to help them fight against the supernatural. They, at this point, everything's been destroyed, so these people are the ones searching rubble, trying to find old books and scrolls and even role-playing games, it says here, to even just get a little piece about a myth or something of a vampire, of a ghost, a demon, a devil, anything to help them get an edge. While it may not be true, it could be true. Who knows? So these people do these things for NEMA. Most are scholars, historians, and nerds who have keen knowledge about gods, the occult, and the arcane, as well as historical knowledge about myths, legends, demons, ghosts, monsters, ancient gods, and old beliefs. They're quasi-experts, playing a key role in identifying mythological creatures, demons, and monsters, and warning NEMA troops about their behavior, practices, and most importantly, their weaknesses and vulnerabilities. Such knowledge is crucial if NEMA is to have any hope of dealing with demonic and creatures of magic. Only 1% of the para-arcane are clinically trained parapsychologists and psychic investigators. 6% are Native Americans, 24% scholars and historian scholars, 20% anthropologists, and the rest are just nerds. Scholarly laymen who have read and memorized tons of obscure data, like us nerds who do role-playing games, that is suddenly very useful now. All serve as technical advisors enlisted and to identify and counter the supernatural. Most are expected to be field agents who accompany the troops on reconnaissance, monster hunts, rescues, patrols, and combat missions. So these are another branch of intelligence officers, so to speak, and they are the nerdy bunch, the ones that do the analysis, the one that figure out the weaknesses of the monsters for you. Overlook class because it's probably not going to be a lot of fun to play, but you do know a lot of stuff about monsters. You do know a lot of stuff about the demons. Are you going to be the one blasting them out of the sky? No. Are you going to be giving the military strategic ways to blast things out of the sky? Absolutely. That's going to be your role if you're playing this class. So it's not a class that most people are going to play unless you're going to be basing a campaign on this, which, I mean, by all means, if that's what you want to do, go ahead. Again, as a GM, I'll let you play any class you want. I'm going to warn you ahead of time. If you're going to be picking this class, you're probably not going to be doing a hell of a lot. You'll be the guy in the van. You'll be the guy at headquarters relaying information. You're going to be sitting around doing a lot of nothingness. But if that's what you want to play in the game, by all means, just heads up warning before you do it. So let's get into what exactly they can do. Special para-arcane OCC skills. Ghosts. They know all theories pertaining to ghost entities, and other hauntings or spectral creatures like banshees and nightmares, which you'll talk about later. Monster hunting. Knowing the habits, the foibles, the weaknesses, and vulnerabilities and ways to fight and kill most, historically, well-known and some little-known monsters, demons and monsters, undead, werebeasts, spirits, and gods. They are fascinated by the subject that the para-arcane is constantly studying the supernatural to learn more and will commit to memory, and often a written journal, first-hand experiences, and observations. Also, you can see the lore, demon and monster skill and other lore skills as well. Also knows how to use holy symbols and other things that repel supernatural, revoke fear, and hold them at bay. They are simpatico with magic. They have a basic understanding and appreciation for magic, sometimes a burning fascination for it. And magic is seldom feared by them. They can also read spell scrolls, use simple magical weapons and devices, recognize enchantments and possessions, 30% plus 2% chance of level of experience, recognize common and historical magical symbols, and has some measure of understanding about magical ceremonials, their purpose and end result. The character can perform exorcism and magic rituals if given complete and clear instructions. You do get some bonuses to that, and saves the horror factor. You need an IQ of 11, a good ME, good physical strength, and PE are helpful but not required. 40% are women. And oddly enough, a few para, arcane, and only 5% have a degree of psychic ability. And when they do, it's usually a minor or major ability, seldom master ability level. Something to think about. As the forces of magic and the supernatural take an iron grip on the world, one para arcane per typical NEMA squad is a must. So I'm to me, this is more of an NPC support class. This is the guy that you're going to be calling up for information as the GM, and he's going to be giving you the information. I don't really see a player playing this class. I mean, it's cool sounding. It has a lot of cool abilities and things that you can do. But I don't really see you playing this as a player at all. I mean, no, I could be wrong. I mean, totally, but I really don't see that. You have a lot of history, a lot of lore, a lot of skills, and you really don't have many things you can do. I mean, basic hand-to-hand, you could change to expert or martial arts, should you do that. Here's more of your skills, and it really doesn't give you much. You can have some MDC armor, a long coat, which is 32. So after a couple shots, you're pretty much dead anyway. You can get cybernetics, just like anything in most Rifts games and Palladium games. You can get cybernetics unless the GM's like, no. So you can get a cybernetics. So next we go to the NEMA Demon and Witch Hunter, which I don't know why they call it NEMA Demon Witch Hunter, because they're not part of NEMA and are a growing problem in and themselves. They cause problems indirectly by ignoring orders to stay clear of NEMA operations, giving away troop positions, alerting monsters to danger, usually by attacking them before NEMA troops are ready, endangering lives, innocent lives, distracting agents, sometimes attacking NEMA agents out of indignation or by mistake, or because they have deemed them to be pawns of Satan. Not quite sure on that one. I've never had anyone play these classes. Or by providing unreliable intelligence or stirring up mobs, riots, and mass hysteria. Independent, again, they are independent if they're not part of NEMA, so I think there's a wording thing here. Independent demon and witch hunters may work alone, travel in pairs or in small groups of 3 to 6, or join, often as leaders, a larger group of like-minded people such as paranoid vigilantes and survivalists. So they're going to be your religious fanatics, so to speak. They're going to know so much about demons and witches that they're going to be that Bible-thumping preacher, so to speak, from the olden days. Let's see here. Large groups almost always have a lynch mob mentality and may be beyond reasoning with. Force is often necessary to disperse these bloodthirsty fanatics. Most are convinced that it is indeed the biblical apocalypse, like I thought. This is, like I said, the end of the world, and that they, because they rebuke evil and magic, are among the chosen. So again, this is your typical old school preacher thumping the Bible, saying he has the power of God behind him, and he's going to be fighting as one of God's soldiers to defeat the demons, even though he really can't, because he's this little itty bitty person compared to these giant beasts and monsters running the earth. So just we'll scroll a little bit along here. They're kind of like the Spanish Inquisition. Yeah. Okay. NEMA demon and witch hunters are recruited from this unsavory rabble to help the organization combat the supernatural and demonic. Supernatural and demonic. Demon and witch hunters designed as DW hunters, or designated, as DW hunters or DWH, who don't seem overzealous and who are willing to follow orders mostly and work as a member of the team, are invited from independent civilian bands of these fire and brimstone fanatics. There's a picture of them right here. NEMA's recruitment pitch. If you really want to make a difference, destroy evil and stop the hellspawn demons swarming through the rifts and the humans who worship and serve them, then do so by joining NEMA. Here's a good picture of what one of them would look like. I mean, they're basically just your typical hunter, but they don't really have anything behind them. Even those selected by NEMA tend to be ruthless, self-righteous crusaders and self-righteous crusaders on a single-minded mission to destroy all that is evil, alien, and supernatural. These DW hunters charge into the heart of combat and enjoy getting their hands bloodied, fighting and destroying the supernatural and demonic, not just helping as advisors or consultants in the field. Furthermore, their primary objective is to destroy supernatural evil, followed by slaying the treacherous humans who help and serve them. Which there are people, there's cults out there that are worshiping these demons, saying that they want to help them, even though these demons are just like going to kill everybody on this earth. They will give these people some leeway and promise them all the world. Meanwhile, when they destroy everything they want to destroy, these are the first people that are just going to go. It's much like demons. They say demons in real life, and the church is always like, don't talk to demons because demons have just promised you the world. And when it comes time for them to roam the earth, they're just going to kill you anyway. So here you go. Basically, these people, these cultists, are just going to die. So special demon witch hunter OC skills: monster hunting, knows habits, foils, weaknesses, same thing as the para arcane person. Arcane knowledge, has a good understanding, but fears and loathes and rejects it. So you think of, as we read more deeper into this class, you think more of a Puritan. Remember the Puritan for the days of witches. They know witchcraft. They know the supernatural. They fear it and they reject it. The character recognizes components and symbols used in magic, signs of evil, and magical rituals and ceremonies, as well as spell scrolls, simple magic, weapons, and devices. They get a bonus to magic and possession, save versus horror factor, and has a base of 3d6 plus PE for their PPE. They think like a demonic entity. Like any good manhunter, the UW hunter starts with to think like his prey, giving him or her the insight to profile and predict enemies' behavior, haunts, and targets. This gives the DWH, I think it's easier just to say the demon hunter or witch hunter than DWH, gut intuition and hunches that are more often are not proved to be correct. Some para-arcane have suggested that these hunches are more like psychic flashes or even loose links to the supernatural. A hypothesis that is that the DWH emphatically dismisses. Whatever works. It doesn't really matter. Game Master play this ability just the way it sounds by telling the character things like, you're on the right track, you know it, something's not right here, they're wrong, this isn't done yet, there's another one, you know it wants you to follow it, this could be a trap. Something's wrong, they don't give up that easily. No, that's wrong. What's in the basement or down the hall in the corner? Something tells you want to look up, down, whatever, and so on. So it's kind of like maybe like a spidey sense type thing. You want to do this or that. Again, some more bonuses to save. So they tend to be mostly anarchist, and unprincipled to that. They really wouldn't be a principled at all or scrupulous. I mean, they are small percentage wise, but you need an IQ of 11, a PE of 11 or higher. A high ME and PS are helpful but not required. Half are women. Half are men, half are women. Doesn't really matter at this point. Basic, related skills. You don't have anything major as far as protecting yourself, but you do have a lot of weapon ancient proficiencies, pistols and automatic and energy pistols. You can pick one of those. I mean, you could start this class off as a demon hunter and walking around, going after smaller demons. You could probably have a little campaign with a couple characters with this, but you're not going to be going against the bigger things with this type of character at all. Yeah, cybernetics, you aren't going to have cybernetics with this class. That's going to be like evil. Anything that is not natural put inside your body is definitely going to be evil. Now, the next one we have is volunteer militia, and I believe that's the last one here. They are NEMA volunteer militia fighters. They have no formal military training, but most have physical skills and some weapon experts. Volunteer with medical, communications, or other formal skills are put to work in these capacities. The militia fighter is the poor man's grunt. jocks, ex-military athletes apply for this position. Many are well-intended and want to help defend and protect our community. Others are glory hounds or angry vigilantes looking for means to get a little payback. Mostly are reasonable, good following order people. So these are another, again, class I'm going to say is an MP support class. I would never put a character in a player. You have this class. If they wanted to play this class, I would have to scale down the game and have everyone else play something that's around this level. And then there's obviously Magic and Psychic OCC classes, but it's a book that never actually came out. Psychic Scream, I believe it was called. They did, and I'm going to go over those as well. Eventually, they did have a bunch of things for Psychic Scream and Rifters. I believe reading those. I'm going to look into those and see if I can get those on here and see how it really compares. And then, of course, you can use Heroes Unlimited, Ninja and Super Spies, and Systems Failure, which is a game I really want to talk about. And Beyond the Supernatural as well, if depending on the level of power you want to go for your game. And then we have the basic equipment for NEMA weapons and stuff like that. But I wanted to go over the book as far as OCC classes and things like that. We've gone over various robots and equipment as we went over classes. So this book is pretty much done as itself. I think the next one we're going to look at is Creatures of Chaos, maybe. We'll talk about the creatures that are now fighting against you in your game and what you're going to be destroying for the most part. So should be fun times. All right, so first time here, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and comment below. Tell me what you think of these videos, and yeah, why not? Don't forget you can join the channel anytime if you want to help support me, or you can go to one of my various links to support me as well. All it does is just help me buy more books and encourage me to do videos. That is really all. So with that said, I'm going to head out, keep it original, keep it old school, and God bless everybody.
Don't ever laugh as the hearse goes by, for you may be the next to die. They wrap you up in a big white sheet, from your head down to your feet. They put you in